Yes, Mataji, I'm going to just start
Broadcast.
broadcasting.
Okay.
Going to start broadcast.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome everyone to the special session. Mataji is really, giving us her valuable time, giving up her family time and making time for us. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the last minute every day you have been giving classes here since the day you came. And I would just
Yeah,
say,
sure, go ahead, Mataji.
got it started?
Yeah,
Okay.
it started podcasting. Yes.
Okay. I'd like to quickly introduce Her Grace Sridevi Mataji. And Sridevi Mataji is currently in Mayapur, but she used to be here in US. Mataji met devotees in October 2001 at Penn State University when she was studying there. And also she met her spiritual master, His Holiness Chandramouli Swami, in November 2001. She got her first initiation in June 2006 and second initiation in May 2017. She has completed Bhakti Shastri from Mayapur Institute in 2018. Her main service is preaching, but she is also a qualified mental health professional and has been offering the therapy to devotees since 2002. Very recently, after her relocation to India, she has resumed medical practice as a pediatrician and newborn care specialist. Sridevi Mataji is also a spiritual mentor to younger members of her God family in ISKCON. She recently won the Bhakti Counselor Award for her service of over 22 years as a mental health professional to devotees as a member of Grihastha Bhijan team of ISKCON. Mataji has been giving seminars and workshops on marriage, family, relationships, etc. in USA, Europe, and India. Mataji also gives Srimad Bhagavatam classes in Mayapur, where she now lives and serves.
Thank you.
Sridevi Mataji ki jai. Welcome, Mataji. Over to you.
Thank you so much for your sweet introduction. It's all glories to my Gurudev, His Holiness Chandramouli Swami Maharaj, who has given me his mercy and who is empowering me to serve all of you wonderful devotees of Livermore and many other yatras. I'm very privileged. I'm very happy to be with all of you. When I came on Saturday and I attended that program, I was so moved by the warmth and the family feeling that came to me as everyone came, spoke with me, opened up to me. So then I started thinking, I have so many more seminars and so many more topics that I wish I could, somehow or the other share with you. And then the thought struck me that before I go, I should try to do something. So Anand Vrindavan Mataji and Sukeshwari Mataji, all of them have been so wonderful and cooperative. So it is by their mercy that all this is being arranged and organized last minute. I apologize for the trouble I'm giving you, Mataji, but I'm very eager to serve you all. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to serve you. These topics are very dear to me because both as a pediatrician and a mental health professional, I really want that all of us do our best for our children, for our youth, because they are the future of ISKCON. So without further ado, I will share my screen. If you will give me share screen facility, then I can, yeah, here we go. And if you have any questions, you can make a note of it and we will do the question answers just after the presentation is over. It's not very long, but it's pretty deep. So I humbly request you to pay really good attention so that whatever questions, doubts you have get clarified. So parenting in Krishna consciousness, a sacred responsibility. Let me put the slide view on this. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to reduce the zoom. Okay. Can everybody see what is on the screen? Can all of you see? Please let me know.
Yes,
Mataji.
Okay. So I am a humble member of Grihastha Vision team, which was started almost 23 years ago by Mother Krishna Nandini in the United States. She felt there was a real need to help Grihasthas. At that time, Grihastha ashram was not so well recognized as a legitimate ashram people felt, oh, if you ever fall down, then you enter Grihastha ashram. And so there was a lot of prejudice against those entering Grihastha ashram. As you know, many of them had to leave temple, take up livelihoods outside, interact with others. So there was a lot of confusion about roles and responsibilities. Children were not understood as being very precious. They were sent off to Gurukul sometimes, and sometimes it was a good experience, many times it was not. So there were many upheavals, a lot of trauma for parents as well as children. So she felt very much that we have to do the right thing. She wanted that Grihasthas be given respect, dignity, and a chance to feel enthused, enlivened, and empowered in Krishna consciousness. And that is how Grihastha Vision team was born. At that time, I was just a young student doing my PhD, but Mataji was very kind. She said, come on board and join us. I said, Mataji, I don't know anything. I'm just a newcomer to Krishna consciousness. But my Guru Maharaj said, try to serve and try to learn. So that is how I ended up being on the team where everyone else was Srila Prabhupada disciple and I was just a newcomer. But Mother Krishna Nandini was very kind and gave me that opportunity to serve and learn from her. So that's how I'm here today. All glories to Mother Krishna Nandini. So our website is www.vaishnavfamilyresources.org. Many of you may already be aware, but please, if you're not, go to our website. There's tons of very useful information that will be helpful to couples who are planning to get married, those who are already married, those who are having children, different life stages, all that is covered. And we even answer questions. If you want, you can be anonymous and send questions, and Mother Uttama will be happy to answer them. So please use our website to enhance your marriage. I don't know how to, okay, click on the next, okay. Next, so that's what I just explained. Who is Grihastha Vision team? We are counselors, educators who have voluntarily come forward to serve marriages and families in Krishna consciousness. What is our ultimate goal? We want to help you to advance in your spiritual life. We believe that children are very, very important because they are the foundation of the future generation of ISKCON, and we want to support healthy families, happy marriages, so that we have a strong ISKCON. We want to be very attractive examples for society in general, because Srila Prabhupada said, this is the movement which will save the world in its darkest hour. And we can see the situation is pretty bleak. So not only have we to become Krishna conscious, we must raise our children very nicely in Krishna consciousness so that we can make a difference to this world which is being completely ravaged by the forces of Kali. So we want to bring dignity to the Grihastha ashram and provide bright futures for our children and for future generations. So our mission, like I said, is to support, strengthen, educate, and enliven. Our goal is to spiritualize your marriage and your family and make it an act of seva. Please don't think parenting, marriage is not devotional service. Serving our spouse, serving our children is very much devotional service, as much as book distribution, deity worship, prasadam distribution, and we should not neglect our dependents, our helpless, innocent, vulnerable children, thinking seva means going to temple and doing seva there. No, seva begins at home. You know, there's a saying, charity begins at home. So similarly, seva begins at home, and we actually learn to be good Vaishnavas in the home. Because who triggers us the most, who irritates us the most? Those who are closest to us. That is where the test of Krishna consciousness is really there. And so, by practicing Krishna consciousness nicely, we learn to be nice Vaishnavas. So, Vaishnava etiquette begins at home. So, our motto is healthy marriages, happy families, strong ISKCON. Like I said, you know our website, please use it to enhance your marriage. So, whom is this presentation dedicated to? It's dedicated to my beloved spiritual master, His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Guru Maharaj, as well as to our spiritual grandfather, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, who has given us everything we need to make our life perfect in Krishna consciousness. Now my life is simply dedicated to their service, and I humbly seek your blessings and your prayers so that I can do more and more in whatever time is left for me in this material body to serve more and more and better to enhance this wonderful institution called Krishna Consciousness by enthusing and enlivening everyone in Krishna Consciousness. So, what is parenting in Krishna Consciousness? Srila Prabhupada wrote a very instructive letter to Arundhati because she was a little bit feeling overwhelmed. She was Pujari and she was thinking, how can I take care of my child? How can I do Dita worship, waking up early, bathing 3 times a day, going on the altar, so many things. And then Prabhupada wrote to her, this letter is like a hallmark of what Srila Prabhupada expects of every parent. So I'm going to read it out in detail. Letter to Arundhati, Amsterdam, 30th July 1972. I am in due receipt of your letter dated July 19, 1972, and I'm simply surprised that you want to give up your child to some other persons, even they are also devotees. For you, child worship is more important than deity worship. If you cannot spend time with him, then stop the duties of pujari. At least you must take good care of your son until he is 4 years old. And if after that time you are unable anymore to take care, then I shall take care. Prabhupada, with hundreds of thousands of problems, he was traveling the globe. He was opening temples. He was initiating so many devotees. He was trying to settle legal problems. The Juhu temple, how many problems? Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, so many problems. Problems with the police who were harassing devotees. So many problems Prabhupada was facing every day. But yet he says, I shall take care of your child if you cannot after 4 years. See how much importance Prabhupada is giving to the little children who are born into our movement. These children are given to us by Krishna. They are Vaishnavas and we must be very careful to protect them. They are not ordinary children. They are Vaikuntha children. And we are very fortunate we can give them chance to advance further in Krishna consciousness. That is a very great responsibility. Do not neglect it or be confused. Your duty is very clear. Hoping this will meet you in the best of health, your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So the reason I wanted to read out his letter is every parent has a very big responsibility. An innocent, vulnerable, helpless little baby comes to us as a means of advancing further in Krishna consciousness. Krishna has sent that child into our family of devotees just to help that soul to come back to him. So we have to be agents, we have to be instruments for Krishna's will in that child's life. Now you must all be knowing this very famous verse. King Rishabdev's instructions to his sons, Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18. Guru na sasyat, svajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat, daivam na tatsyan, na patischa sasyan, na mochayedya samupetam mrityum. What is the translation? One who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod. Just see, one who cannot deliver his dependents from the cycle of repeated birth and death, not just saying avoid, it's saying should never become a spiritual master. So we may feel very much, afraid. Oh my God, how can I deliver I'm only just learning Krishna consciousness. What should I do? So to reply to this, I want to tell you to please not be so afraid or so worried, because we may not be perfect. We may not be pure devotees. We may be mixed devotees even now. We may be still very immature in Krishna consciousness, but we have very wonderful senior gurus, sannyasis who are perfect in Krishna consciousness. So we can show our children their example and teach them that this is the highest perfection of human life. And we can attain that if we sincerely and seriously practice Krishna consciousness. Why I say this? Because once His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, he was speaking to a young mother who was just going to give a child. So he asked her, half playfully, half seriously, so you are confident you can deliver your child from the cycle of birth and death? So she looked at him, she smiled, and then she folded her hand. She's saying, Guru Maharaj, I am not so sure about myself, but I know that I've introduced him to you or her to you. You can deliver my child from the cycle of birth and death. So Maharaj just laughed. And so that is really what our shelter, the pure devotees of the Lord. And by their mercy, by their blessings, our children can certainly cross the ocean of material existence and go back to Krishna. So, what are the needs of children? Many times we think that how to make our children Krishna conscious, but they are also little beings who need food, need shelter, need clothes, need education, going to school, medicine. So, all these are physical needs. Mental needs are also there. Besides learning, they need to use critical thinking skills. They need to learn how to analyze different things. They need to learn how to handle themselves in different situations. That is called emotional intelligence. Learning to identify, articulate, and handle their emotions, learning how to speak up for themselves, learning when to say no, when to say yes, what kind of dangerous situations to avoid, being able to show empathy and compassion for others, making friends, respecting elders, learning how to take care of themselves in difficult situations, having a strong sense of self, and learning to be confident about who they are and what they stand for, having values, developing character. These are the things we want our children to learn so that they can grow up to be healthy individuals who are able to handle themselves in all situations. So social interactions also are very important. Our kids should know how to conduct themselves, have respect, learn how to speak to other guests, maybe non-devotees also, learn how to deal with authority figures, maintain healthy connections, develop healthy self-esteem, learn to take care of themselves and set healthy limits, learn how to cooperate with others. These are social skills which are also important. Recreational, how to play, how to have a team spirit, how to not get upset if one is the loser in the game, how to still be a winner by being congratulatory towards the actual winner. Because, see, remember, winning and losing games doesn't mean our self-worth is involved. It's just a game. And children should learn how to lose gracefully, how to win gracefully. Both things are important. So recreation means sports also. So they learn hand-eye coordination, they learn balance, they learn agility, they learn flexibility. So we have to give our children exposure to theater, to art, to physical education, to different kinds of training, music, so many different things. Recreational activities are necessary for children to have all-round healthy development. Ethical and moral values. Remember, there's no question of spirituality if our ethics and morality are not right. We can't claim to be spiritual beings if we are still, doing questionable things like telling lies, cheating others. And these traits will show up in our children because they don't realize what is right, what is wrong. So sitting down with kids even after school is over, talking to them about how their day went, what happened on the playground, did anybody bully them? Did they have to tell lies in order to escape from that situation? So many things happen on the playground, in the school grounds, in the classroom, with the teacher, with other classmates, at lunchtime, that children may not speak to us unless we create a safe space for them to open up and share what is going on in their lives. So we want our children to be honest, to own up if they have made mistakes. We must teach them that it is all right to make mistakes. In fact, we learn from our mistakes. We should not shame them or humiliate them for making mistakes because they're just learning. They're just learning. They're still small. They're still young. So we have to teach them right from wrong, the importance of honesty, integrity, owning up to mistakes, making amends if they have made mistakes, apologizing, refraining from sinful behavior, and forgiving others who have hurt us. Forgiveness is an important skill that we need to learn and our children need to learn, because otherwise we will not be able to go through life without becoming angry, bitter, resentful, or feeling victimized. We don't want our children to feel victims either. healthy growth requires all these important components in raising our children. The most important for us, obviously, as Krishna conscious parents, we want our children to become spiritual. What does that mean? It means training them in chanting the holy name in Japa and Kirtan, but not forcing them, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, engaging in deity worship, even in a small way, just ringing the bell or pouring the water, small things, beginning with small things, attending various temple programs, festival, Rath Yatra retreats, doing everything for Krishna's pleasure. This is the main thing we need to help our children understand why we are doing all these things, because we want to make Krishna happy. Why we want to make Krishna happy? Because this is our duty, this is our responsibility, this is our only role. Jivera Swarup Hoy Nitera Krishna Das. Taking initiation when one is ready and upholding vows, following the Varnashram system, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas, and finally attaining the goal, Krishna Prem, which is what we are all here for. Okay, so I chose this because many of us, at least for me, it was a very difficult time growing up because I had wonderful parents in the sense they were very pious, they were very good parents. But like most Indian parents, they believed that beating a child, hitting a child, shaming a child, that's the way to teach them discipline. Unfortunately, some children are resilient and they take to that and they just shrug it off and they grow up. But I was a very sensitive child. So for me, it was very difficult to overcome that kind of parenting. And in one way, I think that's what made me move to the mental health field after some time. If a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. If a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself. If a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. This is by Dorothy Law Nolt. Being ignorant is not shameful, but being unwilling to learn is shameful. So, what are the different parenting styles? Let's take a look, because we can all be different parents at different times. When we are stressed, we may become very, very authoritarian. When we are feeling very cool, we may become very permissive, and so on. So, authoritarian style of parenting with most Asian parents are like this. Focus on obedience at any cost. Create fear in the child and demand obedience. Punishment is given for every little infraction, and discipline doesn't mean punishment, but generally authoritarian parents believe in beating, spanking, hitting, slapping, shaming the child into submission, which can, in the short term, it gives results in the sense the child will comply out of fear, but in the long term has some deleterious effects, which we shall see shortly. Permissive parenting is the other way. Throw up your hands and say, let the kids run around, let them shout, let them scream, let them do what they want. When they want, let them eat. When they want, let them sleep. When they want, let them play. This kind of permissive parenting, where the child is left to do as he pleases, also doesn't have very good results in terms of outcome, which we shall see shortly. The uninvolved parent is completely neglectful. He or she is so absorbed in his own world that they provide very little guidance, very little nurturing, very little attention. And this is one of the worst parenting styles. Of course, as devotee parents, none of us is so neglectful. But in the outside world, you need to know what is happening, because many parents who are addicted to drugs, alcohol, who have different problems, they are unable to give any kind of caretaking to their children, and these children grow up to have criminal records, teenage delinquency, drug addiction, all kinds of problems, land in jail sometimes, and become repeat offenders. Why? Because they have received little to no care by the significant people in their lives. This is the saddest situation for young children, And we need to understand what is happening in the world, because such traumatized children may come to our Hare Krishna movement, and they're going to need a lot of care, a lot of nurturing in order to become stable adults. The fourth one, which is called authoritative parenting, creating positive atmosphere for the child, at the same time being firm and kind and enforcing rules while taking the child's needs and feelings into consideration. This one is the best parenting style as far as psychological outcomes are concerned. Okay, what is the impact on children if I'm very authoritarian, my way or the highway? These children live in fear. So they cannot laugh, they cannot be playful, they cannot be silly and have fun, because they are afraid all the time if they do something wrong, the parent will punish them. They tend to be very anxious, very fearful, they're very easily frightened, they feel very vulnerable, they are prone to feel ashamed if they make one small little mistake. They cannot handle emotions very well. They are very fragile. That means easily offended, very sensitive, they hurt very easily. So either they become very shy, isolated, depressed individuals, or they can become angry and withdrawn or violent also. If this kind of abusive relationship goes on, these children are very negatively impacted. What happens to them as adults? It is very difficult for them to form good relationships. They tend to repeat the same patterns that their parents inflicted on them. They become demanding, controlling, abusive, etc. So this is not a very good parenting style. But like I said before, it can yield short-term results. But in the long term, children have a lot of emotional scarring and psychological damage. It's very difficult for them to believe that the world is a safe place, or to trust other people, because their feelings have not been at all taken into consideration. Supposing it's a permissive style, that means, okay, you can do whatever you want, you can run, you can play, you can do anything as you please, you're the boss. What happens with these kids? They are also not trained. They tend to become very aggressive and demanding. They have never been given any proper structure, so they don't learn limits. They don't learn how to work with authority, how to obey rules. They have a very hard time in the grown-up world. They expect the whole world to cater to their demands. They cannot set goals, they cannot self-regulate, they cannot be self-disciplined. They have very poor impulse control. They cannot form stable relationships. They may also be in poor health most of their lives. Many times obesity becomes a huge issue because they tend to overeat in a way to satisfy themselves. Almost all their life they can have many health problems because they have very poor self-control and practically no discipline. Neglectful is the worst. These children are very badly emotionally crippled because of severe neglect by the parents. They're emotionally withdrawn, isolated, incapable of any emotional intimacy. They exhibit delinquency because negative attention is better than no attention. The child craves attention. When parent has absolutely no interest in the child, they tend to misbehave so that they get some attention from the parent. And this goes on to develop all kinds of truancy. They're always in trouble in school. They're irritating and annoying others as a way to get attention. And they land in trouble with the law. They feel great fear, anxiety, and stress due to lack of family support. They have no resilience. They have an increased risk of substance abuse as well as criminal tendencies because they tend to join gangs in order to have a sense of belonging. This is the saddest situation. And of course, we as Krishna conscious parents will never do this to our children, but we need to be aware of what is happening in the world. The best kind of parenting style, psychologically speaking, are the ones who have authoritative parenting. They're more, I'm going to read this slide out in detail because this is most important for us to understand how to nurture our children, at the same time give them structure. They are most likely to become responsible adults who feel comfortable expressing their opinions. Children raised with authoritative parenting tend to be happy and successful. Why? Because their individuality, their personhood, even when they are little, is respected. They are not treated as, you're a little kid, you don't know anything, shut up and listen to me. That's not. The parent doesn't talk down to the child. the parent respects the child as an individual, which is what most of our Krishna conscious parents are, because they understand this is a spirit soul. Because they have been validated, affirmed, and their feelings and opinions are valued, they have a healthy self-concept, an internal locus of control, independent thinking, and grow into stable adults. They have high EQ, which means emotional quotient. They are very savvy in understanding their feelings, understanding the feelings of others. They go on to become leaders and motivators. They even become agents of change in people's life due to high people skills. They're optimistic, cheerful, resilient. They have a sense of giving back because they have received so much. They tend to be grateful, appreciative, humble, caring, empathic, thoughtful, and philanthropic. So these are the children we want. This is the kind of child we want to raise, isn't it? We want our kids to become like these self-assured adults who go on to become leaders, homemakers, just healthy, loving people who are happy and successful. Why? Because they're happy with themselves, they're at peace with who they are, they radiate that to other people. Now you might think, oh my gosh, how can I raise this kind of child? I wasn't raised like this. I had so many problems. So just let's take a few minutes to look at our own parenting. Like I said in the beginning, I had to overcome a lot of things in order to become the person I am today. What kind of parenting did I experience? What was the predominant style? How has my parenting impacted my thoughts, my feelings, my behaviors, and my feelings about others? What are the good things about my parenting that I would like to keep? What are the behaviors that I learned growing up that are detrimental to my relationships, my health, and spiritual life? How can I give up these behaviors and how will that improve my life? How can I use what I have just learned to help others overcome deficits in their upbringing? What is preventing me from being kind, compassionate, loving, and caring towards my own self first? In what way do I truly want to love others? Let's see. Let me move this. What are the things that I would like to start doing? So something to think about, isn't it? Overcoming our conditioning. This is the process of anartha nivritti. We can't say, oh, this is Indian parenting style. I got beaten, so I will beat my child. Does Srila Prabhupada advocate this? Certainly not. Prabhupada always said, show the stick, but never beat the child. They must have a healthy fear, but they must be taught with love. Prabhupada always insisted that our children should not be forced into doing anything. So we must try to understand what kind of parent does Krishna want me to be? What kind of mother he wants? What kind of father he wants? I'm still learning, believe me. My daughter is training me. How do we do this? We overcome anarthas, chant the holy name. There's no getting away from this, folks. We really need to chant the holy name in order to overcome our anarthas. So what will help? Strong sadhana, attentive chanting will crush our anarthas and help us to become more kind, more loving, more thoughtful, more compassionate, caring, empathic devotees. Read Srila Prabhupada's books every day. Reading is very important. Also, read books to enhance your own knowledge about your own self, your unhelpful patterns of behavior, and work on yourself. It's also important to understand child development so that we are not making demands on our children that are inappropriate for their age. A 2-year-old cannot do things like a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old cannot do things like a 10-year-old. Sometimes we tend to treat our little children as though they are adults, but they are only children. So we must be very careful in our parenting, understanding their brain is not developed that cognitive power to understand too many instructions, yelling at them, saying, you don't get this, you don't understand this. But he cannot or she cannot because he's only 4-year-old brain. You may have a 30-year-old brain which can process things very quickly, but a small child cannot. So we must keep our instructions very simple, very specific, so that the child can understand and carry them out. Remember, forming good habits takes time, patience, effort, determination, and practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes a man perfect, woman perfect. Whenever you do make mistakes, please apologize to your kids. Tell them I'm truly sorry. I'm trying to do the best I can, but I sometimes make mistakes. Even Srila Prabhupada's father, after chastising him, would say, I'm sorry, my son, but as your father, I have to correct you. He's setting the example for us. Okay, very soon we will open up for questions now. The best gift a father can give his kids is to love and respect their mother. The best gift a mother can give her kids is to love and respect their father. So please keep working on your own marriage, making it a strong partnership that models love, respect, kindness, consideration, thoughtfulness, humility, admitting mistakes, forgiving oneself, forgiving others, and receiving forgiveness from others, and constant, unwavering desire to improve every day through Bhakti Yoga. That's our goal, to keep improving, to keep going forward in Bhakti, and deciding, no matter how many lifetimes it takes, I want to become Krishna conscious. So we come to the end of today's presentation. I know it's a lot of material you have been given, but I did want to share all this in the hopes that this will provoke some thinking as well as some anartha nivriti for all of us. This is a Grace Division team presentation by myself, Sridevi Dasi. Our website again, VaishnavFamilyResources.org. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we can stop here. And I would love to see everybody. You may open up your cameras if you'd like to, and we can share our thoughts, our realizations, questions, comments. Welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. This is Sridevi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Sridevi Sakhi. Please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our Guru Maharaj.
It is so nice that we are hearing from you, such an experienced person, and also this parenting thing is like like kind of lifelong thing.
Can you come little closer and speak a little louder?
Yes, Mataji. I was saying that we are so grateful that we have you here today, speaking on this topic, which is of great importance for all mothers, especially. Parenting is like a lifelong thing, and I feel that I always struggle in this aspect, and I sometimes I keep trying my best, having good intentions, but yes, as you mentioned that we need to figure out what are our anarthas and what is good in our current parenting style, and then also work on what we need to adopt to give our child that sense of comfort where they can trust us and take all the good things which we want to help them with. So in one of the slides you mentioned that if a child um, is raised, like when you praise and then child sees you, and then they also know how to appreciate and all that, right? So one thing I noticed, like as a child, when my child used to go do some kind of artwork, and as a parent I also encouraged by I'm also doing some artwork or something, so when he sees that I'm doing something better than him, he would just put a cross mark on it, that kind of thing. And when I appreciate somebody else, he feels that I think bad of him, I don't say any bad to him, but when I appreciate somebody before him, it seems like he thinks bad of himself. So when this is the nature, what we can do for helping the child?
How old is your child, please, may I know?
This was whatever I'm telling, these incidents are something when he was a little bit, and now I know that he doesn't like doing that, so I don't tell such things because I know he might not like. So my child is right now a 13-year-old.
Okay, so you can see how vulnerable he is to praise from you, how much he wants that you consider him a little hero, a little champion, a little winner, and how much it affects him when you praise somebody else in front of him. This is because children depend completely on us for a feeling of safety and security. So we want to help them feel that they are also very important to us. What happens? A small child feels if mommy is praising somebody else, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not doing so good. Maybe mommy doesn't like what I have done. So at this point, taking him close, giving him a hug and saying, no, you're doing good. You're also very important to me. I'm just appreciating what someone else has done because I like the artwork or I like what they have done. I like your artwork too. It's not that I like it any less. So explaining to them that appreciating others doesn't mean I'm appreciating you less. He needs that reassurance. He needs that feeling of, I also am important for mama, you know, I'm also good for mama. So just giving him that extra bit of reassurance and love will go a long way to prevent him from feeling small if you praise someone else in front of him.
Thank you, Mataji. And regarding having uh, friendly devotee friends, it has always been a struggle because we have been moving different places, and right now we are at a place where nearby there are no devotee friends and all, so that he can have good friendships and get inspired from them, something like that. So, what is the way I can help him? Because he's in his teens now, and he listens less to parents rather than trying to find answers from his friends probably.
Right. So association becomes extremely important. This is a very sensitive time, adolescence, and ensuring that he meets and gets friendships in devotee circles is crucial for his well-being. Because if he mixes up with the wrong crowd, it's very detrimental. They say no association is better than bad association. Urmila Mataji once, when Mataji was asking, what should I do? My kid doesn't have any friends. They are not going to the local public school. I'm homeschooling, but there are no other devotee children. And Urmila Mataji told her, Urmila Mataji, she was a teacher. She said, no association is better than bad association because bad association will corrupt you very quickly. You know the story of Manthara and Kaikeyi, right? How powerful bad association is. So, protecting your child from bad association is the duty of a parent. So, as much as possible, making sure all your activities, free time is spent with devotees, that he is with devotee kids, you're coming for the festival programs, etc., will ensure that at least he is not mixing up with the wrong crowd. Is that all right?
Yes. Another point which is that whenever there is I take him to the temple and all, like there is special kids program, like Vaishika Maharaj does, like the youth club and all that, where after the regular Sunday feast, after the prasadam, there is one session with the kids only. So I encourage him to join that, but he needs a lot of push to join, and sometimes he would just want to sneak out, and he would sit only for a few minutes. But somehow I'm trying. At least he sits for those few minutes, and then he's outside all the time. Even if there is no single person to play with him, there still he will be doing something, but he wouldn't want to sit continuously in the class, and at least even for a half an hour as on a regular basis without him being asked to do that, that is a little challenge for me. So how can I do encourage him to have that saintly association?
Right. So you have to have a lot of patience because he's entered his teens now, and teenagers don't generally like to do what parents say. So he needs an auntie and uncle, spiritual auntie and uncle. Sometimes, not sometimes, many times, our children will accept guidance, instructions from other people, not from parents. That is why we need community. It takes a village to raise a child. It's not so easy. Especially from teen onwards, we need to have good, strong friendships with other parents who will be like uncle, auntie, cousins, like that. And along with them, they are more likely to listen, to go ahead and do things rather than listen to us. They may not listen to us, but they will listen to uncle, auntie, grandfather, grandmother, like that. So, reaching out to the extended community for support will be key for you to get the support you need to parent him nicely. Is that all right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hey Krishna, Varsha the poetess. I got your lovely poem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Because of your word and lines, I got some inspiration.
That is
And thank
Prabhupada's
you.
words and Prabhupada's line, not mine. Thank you for a beautiful poem. I'm going to share it with my God family with your permission and Anand Vrindavan Mataji's permission.
Yes. Yeah, it's of course Mataji's wish. So, yes, Mataji. Actually, I am a mother of a teen. So, and we are very new as earlier his life was different. And as you mentioned, like that, they don't listen to parent and they mostly listen to the community, the uncle and auntie. That's happened to him as well. Whatever he's now, he is because of Anand Mataji and Prema Madhuri Mataji. So, but still, it's a everyday struggle. He's saying he usually I have seen him after not as a child. Within last 2 years, he's going through a lot of stress. He's taking stress as if he's the main what the family man like that. I mean, the head of the family. Uh, we try our best, but he's taking a lot of stress. He's into so many things, and he is saying that okay, I tried my best, but spirituality, I'm not getting connected with all these things. Though by listening to me, he is doing the chanting in the morning and at least 5 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. But every day it's like he's in frustrated mood, he's coming and going. I have not, it's last 1 year, but I have not seen any improvement in him. So I'm confused now what to do or what not because it's already too late. And he is comparing also with devotee children. He started comparing that they are really great and I don't know anything. So, yeah, and yeah, for taking actually the temple is really far from here. So, last 2 years he went to temple, ISB. Then last year he is in with Anand Mataji. He is taking classes from her. Still, every day the same thing. Even that. How? What is my role here? What can I do the best to improve his faith in spirituality?
See, many times our children, they will do all kinds of drama with us. But when they go to Anand Vrindavan Mataji or some other place, they are good as gold. So let me ask Anand Vrindavan Mataji how he is in her class.
Mataji, you are in mute.
Yes, sorry. He is excellent in my class, actually.
So they
And
throw.
he opens his heart really very much to me and asks nice questions, what is in his heart and mind, and he takes proper guidance. Yeah. And
See,
so what Versa is saying that he's feeling that he doesn't know anything, I would say that it is humility. And recently I gave those kids to memorize Puthumara's prayers, 9 verses, and he is the one who has memorized 5 out of them, like highest among the other kids. So, and the kind of questions he asks, it doesn't look like that he doesn't know anything. So definitely kids show their thing at home in front of the parents in a different way. And definitely I think he's showing that okay, I don't know anything, I'm not capable of like the devotee kids, but he is very much capable of, even though he just started very late, not from his childhood. And I would say whatever the parents do, it reflects on the kids, it gets reflected. That's what I can say from my experience. And whatever Barsa has been doing from last couple of years or 3 years, I think that impact is definitely coming upon him as well, because he always says, oh, my mom told me to do read or to chant verses, or chant his rounds or recite the verses, all that. And he is taking her as a role model, I would say that, because he talks a lot about his mom to me.
see, so see,
Yeah.
Varsha, Many times our children, they will do all kinds of natak, all kinds of drama, all
Yeah.
kinds of tantrums they will throw with us because we are mommy and daddy, you know. They just know the mommy and daddy, whatever we do. But when they go out, we are good as gold. They will do everything nicely. They'll be helpful to others. They're very respectful. They treat each other nicely. They treat elders nicely. That's why I wanted Anand Vrindavan Mataji to tell me what is going on. And you can see that your son has basically got good training from you. That is why he's going through, teenage phases like that. Teenagers, they're dealing with so much. Hormones are driving them. Peer pressure is there. Krishna conscious training, all the expectations. So all that makes them alternately fearful, feel withdrawn sometimes, isolated sometimes, sometimes very brash, very impulsive. They're just learning to become young adults. So we have to cut a lot of slack, as we say. And from the age of, say, 13, 14 to about 25, you can expect all kinds of ups and downs. Get ready for the roller coaster ride, so to speak.
He's always stressed. I never see him smiling at home, though outside he is different. But at home he is always stressed. So that's bothering me more.
Why is he stressed at home, and why does he think he's the man of the house? Are you a
Because he's
single
that.
mom?
No, no, no. My husband is there, but yeah, there is a difference of opinion always, and he is saying that okay, it's like that. Okay, I mean, he thinks that every burden is on him only. He wants to try to manage everything, and though my husband is very patient on that thing, so he never. But it's always an argument between both of them. So it's going on.
So this is normal, Mataji. Teenagers are like this only. They will keep on testing the limits of the parents, They will sometimes really push your buttons and they will really test the limits. So it's very nice that your husband is being very patient with him and role modeling adult behavior. Remember, the teen doesn't know yet how to behave, what to do, what not to do. They're so confused. They want to become, heroes, but they're still in very young bodies with very young minds and not fully developed yet. So there's so much conflicting desires, conflicting thoughts going on. They need a lot of care, a lot of love, a lot of patience. And so we have to cut them a lot of slack. This phase is very difficult. So just reiterating, no matter what, I love you, I care about you. Those are the messages they need to hear, because sometimes they may become very insecure, and that insecurity may give rise to a lot of stress. So saying to him that, you are my champion, you are my hero, I love what you did so good. Constantly, they may not ask for it, but they need to hear your affirmation, your validation, that you're proud of them. You did so good, you helped so nicely in that seva, I'm so proud of you. Those messages need to be repeated so that they feel very safe and secure with their parents. Remember, the world will not give them that, but only you can give them that. And of course, loving elders, teachers like Anand Vrindavan Mataji and all such caring adults in their life, reinforcing them, building their self-esteem will help them to calm down and become confident adults. Don't worry, your child is a normal teenager.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for telling this, Mataji.
Very good.
If no one has question, I can ask one more question, Mataji, if it is okay.
Let me check with Anand Vrindavan Mataji, because she has raised two children in Krishna consciousness with homeschooling and they're brilliant boys. I wanted her to speak a little bit about parenting, what she has seen, what she would like all of us to avoid, what are her tips, on parenting, and then we'll take your question. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
So, Anand Vrindavan Mataji, you chose to homeschool your children with Arudha Mataji's guidance and help. Can you please share a little bit your parenting experience so that all the other young mothers here can feel encouraged and enthused?
It was tough, definitely. As parent, it's always tough. And while I was parenting, as Mataji was saying, I was remembering my parents, Because I was grown up in a very happy way, like they were like pampering all the time. Whatever you want, you can take, but with restrictions, with discipline, with a regulated life at my home. It was always and very disciplined life, like a devotee family. It used to be. So I was remembering that, like how much my mom has gone through to raise us. We were throwing tantrums, we were doing this, we were doing that, and if we remember that, then definitely we'll develop patience and make ourselves calm down. It's not easy to homeschool two boys, and with a lot of different things they would have. Girls are little mild, boys are more aggressive, more naughty, more, everything is more like, it's very different than boys and girls. And so that is why you need a lot of patience, and you have to remember how your mom and dad have raised you, and just think of them. Then automatically, as it is said, right, if you raise a child, then you are free from the debt to your parents. And that we should remember, that how much pain they have gone through, then automatically will calm down, right? So, in the same thing, the second thing is, my Guru Maharaj always tells, and Srila Prabhupada tells, that giving them the examples, reading the examples with them in the Bhagavatam. That's what we did. We did the homeschooling through Bhagavatam, and every day reading those examples, those devotees, and those so much of nice characters that they imbibe in them. So if we just tell them, for boys or girls, don't do this, don't do that, they don't follow. If we just read with them what the great personalities have done, right, through the Bhagavatam, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, especially those two stories in Bhagavatam, that we should read again and again and again. And that helps us help the kids like develop their character with those examples. And chanting, of course, what Mataji said, I would agree with that. Our own sadhana helps a lot, because it is purifying ourselves, and as well, at the same time, we are developing them, we are raising them, right? So unless we make ourselves strong, it is very difficult for us to raise the others, right, or give that same value to others if we are not following it, because they are our reflection. That we have to remember. Children are our reflection. What we are doing, they will just follow. You don't need to tell anything. So we just, if we do whatever we want to tell them first, and we experiment ourselves, we see that and we experience, and they see it, then automatically they'll take it. I'll give you an example. Like when my kids went to college, it was very, very early, right? Like Brajas Bhavan went when he was 11-year-old. And the first day I sent him in the college, I was like scared. Like I didn't want to send him early, but it happened that he had to go as he was done with his studies. And I was there in the campus. I wanted to stay in front of the class. He said, "No, Mama, I'll be fine. Don't worry, you go." And still, I stayed in the campus the whole day, right? How he's doing, if he needs me in emergency or anything. And he was completely fine. He was that mature only because of Bhagavatam, I would say, and the blessings of devotees and the association of devotees. Because the more you associate with devotees, the more um, take the inspirations from them, because we used to have always guests at home, and all the devotees come to our place, all the sannyasis visiting and everything. They have seen that from the childhood, how we treat them, how we host them, and they just learn with the adults. So which is very easy. It's not that we just do service at the temple. This is very good, we do that, but at home also creating that atmosphere is very much important for the children who can. Definitely, you should try that. And when Vaisheshika Prabhu was going to go to Atlanta before Balram comes back home after his studies, and he was only that time like 17-year-old. And after that, I went there and I saw that he has new bed sheets, he has new everything paraphernalia, how much a spiritual master should have. Because he never asked me what to buy. He arranged everything because he has seen from his childhood what I have been doing when Guru Maharaj or sannyasis come to our home. So he arranged everything. So they are always take your own examples. The way we talk, they talk. The way we behave, they behave. The way we associate with devotees, they do the same thing, right? So we have to just remember that, and we have to have faith in Krishna when we take to the devotional service, Krishna takes care of. They are not our children, actually. They are Krishna's children. We have to remember. We cannot be possessive about them, thinking that, oh, that's my children, I have to raise in this way. No. We have to raise what Prabhupada has given the instructions, what Bhagavatam is giving us, and what thinking that they are Krishna. Prabhupada said, right, they are Vaikuntha children. They are not ordinary children. Like when at the age of 2, they are reciting the Sanskrit slokas so clearly, what we could not do even after studying Sanskrit in school, right? So it is not from this life. It is from previous life, and they are Krishna's children. So we should take care of them as Krishna's children, as deities. Prabhupada said, right? You should take care of children as deities. Of course, we lose patience. I have lost my patience a lot in the beginning of my parenting, and I have done, a lot of not things what I should do, like scolding them or anything, never hitting, because I have never got a single hit in India from my parents. None of us are siblings. So my father was very strict about it, that to my mom, you cannot raise hands in front of kids. So I was raised in that. So I was never in the, for of hitting or anything, but I have scolded my kids for sure. And, you're becoming a teacher when you're homeschooling. So you have to be more disciplined. And I have done that, but automatically it is up to Krishna. If we really take care of properly our duties and responsibilities and devotional service, and not expecting too much from kids. Don't expect. I would say from my experience, don't expect. Just give them. Automatically, it will come back when they grow up. So if we expect too much, definitely the teenage is very hard. And I have gone through that, whatever you are going through, Barsa and Sudevi and Prema Madhuri, all that. But this is the age. We have to just be patient and calm at this age, rather than any reaction or anything. It is going to go in a negative direction. That I would say from my experience, that we have to be really deal with them properly. They are very tender. So if the tenderness is there and we just do something wrong, it will go in a negative way. So we have to really be careful, thinking that we are really worshipping a deity at home. To the kids,
Right.
we have to think in that way. We have to give them respect as well. Yes.
Right. Beautifully summarized, Mataji. You beautifully summarized the entire seminar for us. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom, compassion, and kindness, as well guidance for all these young mothers. With you there to guide them, there is no worry at all for any of us. So please take shelter of Anand Vrindavan Mataji. She's an experienced Mataji. She's very kind, very compassionate. She knows the proper Vaishnav etiquette. So her training will be like the 24 karat gold standard for your kids. Don't worry. She herself has raised her children very nicely in Krishna consciousness. So taking shelter of senior devotees like this is what is going to help us on our journey of Krishna consciousness. So my humble request to all of you is, please do not feel shy. Please take shelter of senior devotees, and please keep advancing yourself in Krishna consciousness and help your children advance in Krishna consciousness. Is that all right?
Thank you, Mataji. I think we are up with the time. So
yeah, is that all right? Or does Sudevi still have a question to ask? I thought everything is very clear with Anand Vrindavan Mataji's
Yeah, I
explanation.
really got a lot of useful tips. Madhuri shared really good points, which I'm trying to I'll try to implement in my life. And other than that, as you mentioned, we should not force children. That was in one of the slides. It was mentioned to should not force children. That is what Prabhupada said, to do anything. So if certain child might not like chanting or or such, so how we can encourage in certain other areas, or what we should be doing, or should we still insist, or should we still remind, because we know that he's not getting the taste and he's not willing to do, then how do we deal with that situation?
Yeah, again, like I said, you have a very wonderful mentor in Anand Vrindavan Mataji. She will be able to guide you not just on this point, but on many, many points. We really have exceeded our time limit now. So what I will humbly request from you, Sudevi, is to take shelter of Anand Vrindavan Mataji and take her guidance, because not just this one question, you will have many questions. So please continue to seek her shelter and know that you are in good hands. Don't worry.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So thank you all so very much. My most grateful thanks to Anand Vrindavan Mataji. At short notice, she has agreed to host us and to arrange all these things. I was very eager to serve you before I leave because I have only 2 days more with you. And she has compassionately, magnanimously facilitated this. So my most grateful thanks to her first, and then to all of you for coming online at short notice. My most humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya eva cha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your precious time giving to us, and everyone gets benefited. And it's really, really amazing. It was like a, I don't know, today morning, early in the morning, I got the message from you, and it was like really magical.
I troubled you. First.
No, not at all. Thank you so much. Yes, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.